Ear. Get my levels, get my levels. Turn that off. Yeah, checking my levels. They good, looking good. Uh, Give me 1 second, y'all. One quick second. We gonna. All right, yeah. Had to get my lighting. My lighting wasn't right. Oh, let me situate myself. Situate myself. Ah, all right. What's good, y'all? It's Sean Peter Blunt God. Hey, and we are back with One Piece chapter 1032. It's called Oden's Beloved Blade. But before we get into that, all of that good stuff over yonder, before we get to that, make sure you show some love and like the stream. Give your boy a like. You know what I'm saying? While you at it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will be doing a giveaway at 50 subscribers. I'm trying to hit that milestone, y'all. But yeah, we gonna keep it rolling. Oh, an announcement. Before we move forward, the holidays is coming, y'all. So I'm gonna be out of town. I'm gonna be going back to Pennsylvania, to my home state, my home city, to spend time with my family and all that. So y'all won't be getting any videos from me for like the next 2 weeks. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I had the Ohio trip. Just a lot of things coming at me, but this is more kind of a vacation for me though. This is like this is a holiday for me to chill and spend time with family and stuff. So y'all probably won't get nothing from me. I'm thinking I might do, since we got a chapter next Sunday, I might do maybe a video. It'll just be like on my phone and it won't be edited. I won't have no technology with me, so I won't be able to edit anything. And usually I do lives anyway, so I don't really edit my stuff. But even then, if I do put out a video, it won't be like this quality. You won't get the whole setup. There won't be a whole setup. It might just be like in a room with my phone, and, you know what I'm saying. And it won't be edited. So and I try to push quality for you, some type of quality, some level of quality to you guys. So we might have a delay on the next chapter discussion until when I get back in town, to my home. But anyway, y'all don't. That's not what you guys want to hear. Let's get to the chapter. All right. So, One Piece chapter 1032, Oden's Beloved Blade. I don't know, that motorcycle, car, whatever. It's loud. But hey, and another thing, guys, if you guys want to talk about the recent episode, One Piece 1000, or One Piece episode 1000, we probably talk a little bit about that because, it was pretty good. Even though we already kind of covered most everything that happened in that episode through the chapters, it was a monumental moment. So, matter of fact, I'll talk a little bit about it now. It was a monumental moment, and I really enjoyed the episode. The animation was on point. I liked how they kind of reintroduced the Straw Hats, and kind of you see kind of a brief highlight of some of their flashbacks of what happened in the story from before they became part of the crew to this point in the story. Even though I feel as though Frankie kind of got finessed on that. Toei kind of they finessed Frankie. They ain't really give him much of anything. You know what I'm saying? I think Frankie deserved a little more. And another thing I kind of want to point out is, the anime kind of made me really realize a feat that we haven't talked about. I might make a short video or something one day about it, because I'm thinking about start doing videos too, like just little topics, even if they short 10 minutes or whatever. But what was I saying? Yeah, so one feat that I really didn't realize that's been really impressive is Frankie. It's that waffle metal. You know how it's been able to withstand like these numbers. It's been able to withstand big mom attacks. It's pretty impressive. The metal, at least. I can't. I might not be able to give much credit to Frankie. It might be more uh, of a feat for the endurance of waffle metal. You know, but still, Frankie, built that tank and everything. So you got to give him some credit. But anyway, what did you guys think of the latest episode? I really enjoyed it. It was good seeing all the. It's good anytime we get all the Straw Hats together. You know what I'm saying? Like get them together, because it's been more of a thing post time skip. Or ever since the time skip, that the Straw Hats always kind of been divided. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at the time they split, then they reunited in Sayobadi. My nose is hard to kind of pronounce stuff right now. Sabaody, Sabaody Island, when they reunited, and then they go to Fishman Island. They was with each other in Fishman Island. They was with each other on Punk Hazard, but then when they went to Dressrosa, they kind of split. And then we didn't really see the Straw Hats together, especially on the anime. And even in the manga too, but we didn't see the Straw Hats together for so long. We had the Dressrosa crew, then we had the Whole Cake Island crew, and they both split, and then it was and that was a couple years even. They kind of reunited in Zoe, but they didn't have Sanji, so they wasn't fully reunited. And in this episode 1000 to see him, even though we got that reunited when Jinbei arrived, but they're still good, especially for this specific episode 1000. We get them all together in one episode and not split up, fighting or whatever. So yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. Dope moment. You know. But anyway, enough about the anime. This this stream isn't about the anime. I just thought it was a monumental episode. I kind of wanted to touch on it. So, what did you guys think about the episode? But anyway, let's get to this chapter. We got One Piece, chapter 1032, Oden's Beloved Blade, and in the cover art, we got Yamato with some cats, and I guess they're making deliveries. They delivered something to some old lady who looks to be appreciative to them making the delivery. But anyway, that's enough about that. So first we start off with Marco carrying Izo. I don't think we really got much of what was going on with Izo since the last time we seen him. When was the last time we seen him? I don't even remember the last time we seen Izo, like who he fought. Feels as though he was fighting somebody, but anyway, Marco said, what's going on, Izo? Why am I carrying a wounded man around? So I'm assuming Izo must be hurt. I don't know. And he says sorry. It's just that message earlier. The outcry about an enormous apparition has me feeling uneasy. So he's talking about the what's the thing's name? Kazimbo. He's talking about like people talking about that ghost or the apparition Kazimbo that conjured this apparition that is like putting like setting things on fire and stuff like that. So people kind of panicking, talking about the castle's on fire and everything, and we see the battle pursuing. We kind of get Big Mom who kind of in her zone, I guess, fighting against Kid in Law. I was about to say Straw Hats because I'm thinking of the episode. I'm thinking of the episode where they was fighting Big Mom, but yeah, she's fighting Kid in Law, and Marco and Izo kind of like flies past her, and so anyway, we kind of cut to what was going on with Yamato, Drake, and Apu, and you know Apu is basically just trying to, I guess, get Yamato to cooperate with him, you know, and Drake seemed like he just might be chasing them, like he's chasing after Apu, and we see Fuga, right, the big number. We see Fuga running what seemed to be next to Yamato, and Yamato knows him like, hey Fuga, it's nice to see you again, but I'm in a hurry. And so it seems like they're on friendly terms. I think last chapter I kind of thought that Fuga might have been going after Yamato to attack her for some reason. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I thought Fuga wanted to attack Yamato, but it seems that Fuga and Yamato are cool. Yeah, and Fuga was coming as more of on the friendly terms. And we get like an announcement saying, hey, all sectors from the second floor, the enormous fire monster is heading to the basement, right? And as we see that, we see Brooke and Robin, who falls on Fuga's hair. They don't realize it's Fuga. They think it's a cushion or something. And we see CP0 basically after Brooke and Robin. And while they're kind of falling in chase of Brooke and Robin, we see Kazimbo almost like, I don't know if he's melting through the wall or if he's burning through the wall or just kind of like phasing, or I assume he's phasing through it, but he's also burning it at the same time. So he's going through the roof or the ceiling. He's going through the ceiling, and as CP0 falls, he's basically connecting with them, and you see CP0 kind of catch on fire, right? And you could tell because one of they're screaming. So yeah, and Yamato kind of peeps it. Yamato kind of peeps like, oh, that thing is passing through walls and going lower. So Yamato pretty much put two and two together and says, hey, if it goes any further down, it's going towards all those explosives and weapons and stuff. Pretty much where she's going to try to stop any explosion, because the castle is already burning even without Kasimbo, And so, as CP0, I guess they're still chasing Robin and Brooke, but we see Apu basically taking pictures of CP0 talking about, what are the lapdogs of the celestial dragons spotted in Kaido's castle. He said, what a scoop this is. I bet Morgans will pay for these pics. And he said, after losing the arms broker Doflamingo, the government has finally stooped to. He doesn't finish, but we kind of see how Apu, he is an information broker. So to get this type of information, that's how he makes his money. He's selling information, and he wants to sell this information about CP0 being in Wano, and specifically in Kaido's castle. This world government lapdog being in Kaido's castle. And so anyway, the CP0 agent, who I don't think we've got a name for her. I don't think we ever got a name for her. I don't remember his name or know his name. But this CP0 agent, who we don't know who he is. like he does that finger poke. I forget what that's called. The shy gun. I can't remember what it's called. It's like what Lucha used to do. He used to drill his finger in like a bullet almost, and he does that to Apu, and it looks like At first when I seen this, I was like, oh man, I've been bigging up Apu for so long, and he just gets taken out this quick. Apu gets taken out this quick. And, I was kind of worried. I was worried a little bit. I was worried when I seen Apu almost, pretty much, almost get murdered there and then, right? Because he pokes him, Apu falls, and then the CP0 agent says, "X Drake, do you think we're not aware of exactly who you are?" He said, then why don't you start with some excuses? He goes to look like he's about to poke Drake, but Apu, use his devil fruit ability to pretty much got like a burp. Oof. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But Apu basically attacks the CP0 agent because he's still up. The boy is durable. Y'all gonna put some respect upon Apu's name. You gotta look, man. The CP0 agent is fresh, right? He's pretty. Him being CP0, he's obviously strong. And Apu has already been in plenty of fights by this point, and Apu is still able to get up after that. He's still able to get up because after he hits the CP0 agent, him and Drake kind of argue. Drake was like, "Hey, I'm surprised you still alive." And Apu was like, "Yeah, I know a little thing of armament hockey. I know a little thing called armament hockey, you idiot." And so confirmed, Apu has armament hockey. I think at this point it's kind of safe to assume that all, or at least most, if not all, the Supernova have armament hockey or some degree of hockey. I would think. I would think they will. At this point, they all have some degree of hockey. So, unless Apu is just in the upper echelons of Supernova, which I'm okay with. I'm actually okay with that. If he's just one of the few Supernova that could use arm or hockey in general, and he's he's as tough as he is. But so they pretty much Apu and Drake pretty much asked like, "Hey, are you shut up? Are you in or out?" And then Apu like they started this fight, and Drake says, "No, you did," which I think Apu did. Apu pretty much did start the fight because those two agents was after Robin and Brooke at first. They was after Robin, but Apu started taking those pictures and he kind of instigated the whole situation. So now we kind of see Apu and Drake team up and attack the CP0 agents. So it's looking like a 2v2. It's looking like a 2v2. But let's talk about that a little later. And then we kind of get like an outside picture of Onigashima, right? We see King flying, and we see Momonosuke as a dragon still trying to create these clouds in order to stop Onigashima from falling. And again, we see King kind of in the distance, and you could tell Zoro is there because you get these little speech bubble, right? And you see you get a speech bubble for King, and then one for what I would assume is Zoro. Since they're in the midst of fighting, and Then we see King kind of like take the back of his head, like the little horn of his head, right? And he like pulls it. And he has this goofy look. Like, he gives this goofy look, right? And then he releases that kind of like a slingshot. Like he almost treating his head like a slingshot, right? And whatever he shoots, like I don't know what he's shooting. If it's that thing on his head that he's shooting, or if it's like a something being shot out from his mouth. Like I don't know what it is, or if it's kind of like Queen, where Queen kind of ejected his head. You know, I don't think it's that though, because he still got his head pretty much attached next time we see him. But he shoots something at him, you know, and he said it's called an imperial deep fried steak. So I'm not sure what he's shooting. You know, seeing how he has all these spikes on him, he might it might be like a spike or something. You know, and so Zoro dodges it. You know, and says, "How can how can how can you block that? It's like a laser beam." And then King says, "The terror the pteranodons of the ancient I think the P is silent. It do start with a P, but the P is silent in this case. The pterodons of the ancient past hunted their prey just like this. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. At least not in the real world. Maybe the One Piece world, I guess. Because because it's kind of like when Queen shot his head out, and he was like, yeah, it's Brachiosaurus could do this. It's a Brachiosaurus thing, and it's like, not really, not really, or kind of like when Kaku, when he turned his giraffe body into like a box or whatever, and he was like, oh yeah, giraffes do this, and I'm like, eh, you know, Oda and his animal logic, man. I swear, I swear, Oda and his animal logic. Anyway, so King's basically pretty much flying in the air, and we see Zoro hit King with a 360-pound Phoenix, and I think he misses. It looks that he misses it, and Zoro, yeah, he pretty much misses it. Zoro says, "I gotta figure out a way to land the hit, otherwise I'm just wearing myself out." And he said he I guess he asked King, says, "I'm guessing that flame on your back is another pteranodon feature." And King surprisingly says, "It's not." You know, Zoro Shock says, "It's not." And so now that kind of leads me to believe, what is that flame? You know, and and so Zoro basically sets up for a three sword style black rope dragon twister, which he catches King in, but King is pretty much like almost like protecting himself with his wings, and and Zoro kind of observes and states that he's blocking the slashes with his wings, and he said, and then Zoro said pretty much says, so between the dragon and the dinosaurs, you guys soak up damage like nobody's business. But King says true, but in my specific case, it goes even beyond that. I wanna. I'm curious. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. And so we see King pretty much go in his normal state. He leaves his pteranodon state and go. I don't know if this is a hybrid state, because I feel as though I've never seen his wing. Well, I guess you have seen his wings that big, but yeah, I'm guessing that's his, because those are his normal wings, not his pteranodon wings. And he like King basically decides to fight Zoro with a sword, you know, and Zoro noticed that he said like yet he's not bleeding, his wings move, so I know they're not ornamental, so they're not just there just for show. They're but I can't be sure if he can use if he can use them wings to fly. So yeah, so this is his normal wings, but we don't know if King can actually fly with those wings because I don't know if we've seen any character with wings like any Scorpions actually use their wings to fly. But King got some pretty big wings, so I feel though like his wings could probably could carry him. Like normal Scorpions usually got them small wings, so I could see why they can't fly. But King, on the other hand, he got some pretty big wings, and that kind of made me think like, what about Anel's wings? Like before he took him out and put that circular thing on him, like did Anel have like just normal Scorpion wings, or did he have wings possibly like King? Like, what if King and Enel are from the same race? That, like, they could be from the same race as Scorpions. I think. Like, I don't know, but I digress. We're not talking about Enel. So, so yeah, so he said the flames keep burning on his back. I assume they were part of his powers, but apparently they're not. Is he a fish man? Giant blood? No, I bet it's from some other race. So Zoro's basically going over in his head with what King could be, because he's trying he in Zoro's head like figuring out this secret, the King's identity is how is going to be how he can beat King, you know. And this is kind of what I be telling people. This is why I was always kind of advocate if like Sanji fought King and Zoro fought Queen. Because I said King is a bad matchup for Zoro. I know Zoro has to fight the second strongest, like usually the second the right hand man to whoever the villain is. But in this case, this is a bad matchup for Zoro because Zoro doesn't have that mobility to keep up with somebody who can fly. Sanji does, not Zoro. You know, and Sanji seems to be having an easier time with Queen, even though Queen's not really going that hard because he's more trying to figure out this technology that Sanji, he wants to see the like Queen the whole time wanted to see the raid suit. King just been fighting Zoro. He's been going all in with Zoro, and Zoro's been pretty much going all in with King. But I thought Sanji would be a better matchup with King because Sanji could use Skywalk. To me, it's just more logical. Like, if you seen the anime, I want to say two. Was it Was it 999 or 998? We seen Sanji versus King. We get school. Even though King pretty much handled Sanji relatively easy, but Sanji didn't really get hurt either because he had on the raid too. So you know, but King did kind of dispatch of Sanji temporarily. So yeah, and there's a lot going on in this chapter, man. Just a lot of action. And all right, so King pretty much sends Zoro into like a rock or whatever, and and Zoro's in his head like, man, I gotta solve whatever this is. I gotta figure out who he is so I could beat him and how to beat him. And all of a sudden, Zoro notices a sound and he says a shamisen. And he said that can't be, it can't be. And as he says that, Enma starts reacting. It's almost like when it's sucking his hockey out and just almost. I don't know if it's like sucking, if it's just emanating Zoro's hockey or whatever, but it's reacting. Seems to be reacting to the shamisen, and maybe that might be like Oden's will within the sword. But we go to the after Zoro's after Enma reacts, we go to the treasure depository, and uh we see Orochi hiding in the treasury room, and he hears the sound as well. He says, "Shamisen playing. That's nonsense." And he goes to look into the little room, and lo and behold, guess who's there? Kamarasaki, also known as Hiyori uh, Kazuki. And he says, "Oh, have I died and gone to heaven, or is this just a dream? Since that terrible day, have not spent a night without dreaming of you, my dear. I cannot forget you." And then Kamarasaki says, "Neither can I, my lord. I am always, always by your side." And then Orochi says, if this is a dream, I don't want to wake up. To be continued." That's pretty much the chapter. Whew, and that was a lot to talk about. I need a little water. That was a lot to dissect. A lot to dissect. So all right, chapter 1032. First, I kind of want to talk about Marco and Izu. One thing why I want to talk about them, even though they have very short appearance in this chapter, literally a box. Izo pretty much says, "The outcry about an enormous apparition has me feeling uneasy. Where was that enemy before?" So to me, it seemed like Izo was trying to pursue this Kazumbo. He's trying to pursue Cosmo. He seems interested in it. And I'm thinking, could we get a Marco and Izo confrontation with Kazumbo? And how will that go? Will they be able to stop Kazumbo? And what about Yamato too? Because Yamato seems like she's going in the same direction as Kazumbo as well. So it could potentially be like a Marco, Izo, and Yamato team up to stop this Kazumbo from getting to the explosives. And will they be able to defeat an apparition? An apparition that if you touch it, you just get set on fire. Like, will hockey work on? Like, how do you defeat an apparition? I think maybe the only two people I feel as though can deal with Kazumbo potentially is Big Mom and Brooke. Because when you look at an apparition, it's basically like a spirit or a soul or something. And both Big Mom, I would say Big Mom, she manipulates souls, and Brooke manipulates his soul, and he can also interact with souls as well. That's why he's able to split Zeus in half. Who, like, hockey doesn't even affect Zeus, but Brooke can touch Zeus. Brooke can, even though Nami can too, but I don't know if that's comedy effects or if Nami just has something. Because you gotta look, Nami could do some. Nami has been able to inflict damage on Luffy. Pre-hockey. Pre-Lucci. Nami used to knock Luffy upside the head and leave like a bump or something. So I would say Big Mom, Brooke, and maybe Nami could. They're the only ones who could probably do anything to Kazumbo. Him being a spirit and all. So that. But that's that. It was just kind of something. It just made me think that Izo, since he brought up Kazumbo, it just made me think that he might be actually after trying to stop Kazumbo. And I don't think we really got a full-fledged fight with Izo, right? Marco kinda because we got Perospero. So I guess Marco might be kind of eliminated, but Izu and you know who else didn't really get another get a full on fight, Brooke. Because I think because you could say he helped Robin or Black Maria, but Robin defeated Black Maria. You know that was pretty much to me that was more Robin's fight with kind of the assistance of Brooke. But I want to see maybe Brooke do something like maybe take down Kazumbo because I feel as though again Brooke is possibly one of the only few people who could probably actually inflict any damage on Kazumbo. You know, and it'd be nice to see him being a big part at least. Like even if Izo's helping him and Marco's helping him or Yamato, maybe not Marco, but like Izo, Yamato, Marco, Brooke being like the key piece to defeating Kazumbo, I would be intrigued to see something like that. You know, with his cause him being a spirit being able to interact or him being able to manipulate his soul. You know, he could probably interact with Kazumbo. All right, so next I kind of want to talk about something I kind of brought up last chapter. That's the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because before I say the numbers, right? The numbers, they're who are they loyal to? You know, who are they loyal to? And I kind of see Yamato and her relationship with Fuga. They seem like they're on friendly terms. You know, before I thought he might have been trying to attack Yamato, but it seems like they're just friends. He was just trying to catch up with somebody he cares about, like Fuga. So, you know, and it makes me think of what is Yamato's relationship with not only Fuga but the other numbers. You know, are they all on good terms? You know, maybe the numbers aren't necessarily like beasts with uh maybe any type of I don't want to say any type of loyalty, but any aspirations or anything. Like they don't, you know, when they was with Apu, maybe they were just hanging with Apu and they didn't have no thoughts of betraying Kaido. That probably wasn't even in their mind. They probably was just hanging with Apu because they like Apu and they just if they like you, they follow you pretty much. You know, maybe that's kind of how the numbers personalities are. Maybe they don't really have like maybe they're more like animalistic where they just follow who they like and who or who leads them. You know, kind of like how dogs will follow their master, but they'll also be friendly and on good terms with other people as well if they like you. If they don't like you, they attack you though. You know, so maybe that's I'm kind of thinking that's how the numbers are. Maybe it wasn't about loyalty to Apu. You know, maybe they're like numbers where they might follow the alpha male, and you see Kaido might be the alpha male, so they're loyal to him as the pack leader. You know what I'm saying? The alpha dog, the pack leader, and Apu is just like you know somebody who he's probably one of the one of the lieutenants of the pack, so they follow him as well. You know, or they just like Apple. I don't know. I don't know. You know. But yeah, so one thing that had moving on to the next my next key point. One thing that these recent events of the introduction of Kazumbo. You know this apparition that created by Conjuro. Um, how this apparition is basically headed towards the explosives. You know, we already know that the island was falling apart. You know, it was probably going to fall. It could possibly fall apart before getting to the flower capital, and even then, getting to the flower capital, people will die. If it gets to when it lands on flower capital, the explosives might kill a lot of people in Onigashima. So we see the seriousness of the situation, but as we see the seriousness, we got Momonosuke, who is trying to stop Onigashima, by creating these clouds, and he's looking like he could potentially pull it off. You know, he could potentially pull it off, and then Yamato's doing her mission, and that's to basically, you know, get handle the explosive situation. So those are two things that are looking like they could be maybe curbed, but now with this introduction of Kazenbo, it's like, what is the trajectory to the art with this presence? You know what I'm saying? What's the trajectory? Because will he be able to be defeated before getting to the explosion? He's already not that far, And then it's like, if how do you stop apparition? So how do you like stop him from getting to where he needs to go? And if he accomplishes reaching the basement and setting off the explosive, that's going to affect all the battles, right? I would think that could affect some of the battles. So I'm thinking it could be a case to where it's a team up between maybe some of the Beast Pirates, not like Kaido and Big Mom. I don't think they, because and Luffy or whatever. It's going to be like the Beast Pirates, and the Alliance is probably going to have to temporarily make a truce and create an alliance in order to stop Kazembo from destroying the Onigashima, or getting to the explosives and destroying Onigashima. Now, Kaido, Luffy, Big Mom, Kid, Law, they're all wrapped up in fighting, so I don't expect them to stop fighting and like, oh well, let's join. I don't think it's gonna be anything like that. But I'm talking about kind of like the lower forces, the lessers, the lesser people, the people, and I'm not even King, Queen, and Zoro and Sanji, them either. They're kind of out of it too. It's gonna have to be like the maybe some Toby Ropo that might still be conscious that could have got up. Maybe like Frankie, Brooke, like guys, like I don't know, just people who aren't like in any super important fights, and CP0 as well. Oh, but okay, so next I want to talk about Apu and X Drake versus CP0. That's what this is looking like, is becoming a team up of Apu and Drake and C versus to fight off CP0. So yeah, I hope we do get more CP0. I really want to find out more about these two specific agents. Maybe possibly get some names, maybe get their names, maybe learn their abilities, So yeah, I'm kind of psyched for, this team up with Drake and Apu, going up CP0 agents. I'm pretty psyched because I want to see what these CP0 agents could do. They've been around, they've been lingering around Wano this whole time. And I've been constantly talking about, when are they gonna make their move? What is their move? We've been getting answers to all those things, so now I want to see them move and see what they can do. I'm excited about that. And that kind of leads me to the chances of Apu joining the Alliance, the Straw Hat, or the Pirate Samurai Mink Alliance, because I've stated that Apu might join, but I also stated that I don't think he's joining, because I think it was at one point he kind of to me solidified his loyalty to Beast Pirates, but at the same time they did try to Queen did kind of leave him hanging. So he already been talking about like betraying the Beast Pirates. So I think he could in his betrayal of the Beast Pirates he could probably temporarily ally with the other supernova. So now we got Drake, now we got Apu, now we got Zoro, Killer, Kid, Law, and that would be all the supernova. Currently at Wano at least. And they're all allied. Maybe if Big Mom could be taken out the picture somehow, I don't know how, but if Big Mom could be taken out the picture, and Drake and Kid could be freed up to go back help Luffy, and maybe Drake and Apu also joins, we could get a supernova showdown of them against Kaido. So or what could also be dope, if Zoro and Sanji defeats King and Queen before like if they beat King and Queen and Luffy is still having trouble with Kaido, maybe Drake and Apu could help Kid and Law, and maybe we could get like a Straw Hat team up against Kaido, kind of like when they fought Oars. Except now we got Jinbei. Now we get Jinbei this time, and probably Yamato. So that could be interesting. That could be interesting, and I feel I kind of like the idea of the supernova fighting Kaido, but I also kind of like the idea of all the Straw Hats pretty much finishing Kaido together. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe the rest, like all the supernova minus Luffy, like all the supernova that's in Wano right now minus Luffy, because Luffy's gonna be fighting Kaido. They all fight Big Mom and they all take down Big Mom. If Big Mom does indeed get taken down this arc. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Potential. This stuff, it's just stuff, things I see potentially that could potentially happen. All right. Next, I kind of want to go on to the more the meaty part, the climax of the arc. The goods. With the Zoro and King fight, the Zoro and King fight. Now a lot of time, do most of that time we kind of see Zoro trying to figure out King, and he goes across, he goes in his head, start running down scenarios of what King could potentially be, whether he says, is he a fisherman, is he like, what is he? Maybe he's something I've never seen before, and one idea, one idea I kind of thought as far as races, what if he comes from like a demon race? Kind of like Magellan. Did Magellan have wings? Now I gotta check that out. I feel as though Magellan had wings. Like big wings. And if you look at Magellan, he does look something like he could possibly be like a demon. Hold on, y'all. I want to look real quick. I mean, Magellan did have wings. His wings were a lot different from King's though. His wings look more like a bat. Whereas like a bat type wings. Whereas King's wings look more like an angel maybe. But You know, what is so because King kind of even says at one point, like, I mean, let me get it so I find it where I could quote it for sure. What did he say? He says so. It was a part where Zoro says, "So between the dragon and dinosaurs, you guys soak up damage like nobody's business, huh?" And King says, "True, but in my specific case, it goes even beyond that." So it's like, why? I'm thinking it has something to do with his race. That's what makes King special. Like we already know Big Mom is she wants King because he's like the last of his race. So what is this race from King? You know, is it like related to Scorpions or maybe Magellan or something? I'm thinking maybe he's a demon. Maybe he comes from hell. I don't know. Or maybe a spot that's similar. Maybe like he's like think about it. Think about it. If Skypeans, right? If Skypeans kind of look like they're from heaven. If Skypea exists in the sky, right? If Skypea, there's countries in the sky. Who's to say there's not anything below the earth? And I'm not talking about like in the ocean, because clearly we got Fishman Island. I mean, even below, maybe not below that, but maybe below the ocean. I don't know. Maybe it's like a volcanic type place. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's like a volcanic, because you think if you look under the Earth's mantle, it's like a lot of it's like the mantle, I think, where it's like a lot of lava and stuff. So maybe there's like a country that's built in like some type of volcano or just underground where there's lava going around, and he's special because you got to be a tough type of race to live in those type of conditions. You know what I'm saying? You got to be tough to live around to live in like a volcanic type atmosphere, with molten lava around you. So, and you think you got that fire on his back. So, and that's why I kind of say he's literally from hell. Maybe not like from, you know, when I say literally from hell, I kind of mean it in the way where you could say, Anel is from, like Skype is like heaven almost. And Anel is a god. Anel's not a god, but he's almost looked at as a god because he got godly powers and he's godly using them. so yeah, maybe it's kind of like a spot that's kind of the opposite of Skypea, but they still got wings, because maybe you're like a fallen race of Scorpions, because think of it like this: if you look at the Bible and you look at how you had the devil, Lucifer, who's the devil, but before he was the devil, he was Lucifer. He was an angel of God, and after God created humans, or God wanted to create humans, and they were going to be His chosen people. Like humans were His chosen, but Lucifer believed like him as an angel, he's better than humans. So, they went to war against God or whatever, and then they was cast out of heaven. If you're a Bible historian, maybe I know I'm not. I'm kind of oversimplifying it, but they was cast out from heaven, and supposedly, we look at the devil, he's cast out from heaven and not to hell, but he will go to. It's confusing, but a lot of people kind of look at it like he was cast to hell. So just think of it as if King's race were kicked out of. They were like a fallen race of Skypeans. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know. That's kind of just something interesting. Because I see the wings and I kind of think like he might be a race of Scorpions. Like maybe Anel is from his race as well. Maybe Anel is from, maybe Anel is from King's race. Because we never, because it was stated that Anel had wings. You know, where he has that little that circle, that ring, and it's in his back. Those were where his wings used to be, and maybe he had the same wings as King. You know, so that's interesting. I'm kind of stretching on that one, but it would be it'd be interesting. Uh, I'm really interested in King's backstory. What is the mystery of what King is, and and kind of to wrap this up, the wrap up of the chapter, and also my key points is Kamurasaki, aka Hiyori. You know, now I kind of have two thoughts of this. Either because first, before we see Kamurasaki, we see Zoro's, we see Enma. You know, first we see Zoro. He says, "Oh, is that a shamisen?" And then Enma starts like reacting, right? So my first thought is Kamurasaki or Hiyori could be like something Enma created. It could be a manifestation of Enma reacting to Zoro's need to have to beat King, right? Like Zoro, this I'm thinking like Enma. It's like Enma might be going through a transformation for Zoro to level up, and Komurasaki is just a byproduct of that. You know what I'm saying? Commerce or Hiyori being there is just a byproduct. Like she's not really there. She's just kind of like a manifestation that Enma created as a reaction to Zoro needing to get stronger. If that makes sense. You know, why Enma would be reacting and manifesting, or why would Enma manifest Hiyori slash Komurasaki just for Zoro's need. I don't know. But that's just one thought. That's just one thought. That's not, the more I think about it, the more I think it might be the second thought. That was kind of my first thought. But I'm giving my second thought. And that is that Hiyori, that's just Hiyori, right? That is literally Hiyori snuck onto the island somehow. Maybe she'd been there since they arrived and just been hiding this whole time. Cause think about it. Now I think about it, the reason why I think it is that is because somebody, remember, I don't think we ever got an answer of who healed the Akazawa, or the scabbards. Like we know they were healed, and then Kandro showed up as Oden, and it's like, why would Kandro heal him? So I kind of said maybe he healed him because he was trying to he was still committed to his role, or he's committed to this Oden role, so he heals him before he kills him. I don't know, but it makes more sense now that if Hiyori was already there and she healed them, right? And so I'm thinking that's actually Hiyori, and her playing that shamisen is, I think she is there to kill. She is there to kill Orochi. And one thing I've always said, like, remember when Orochi died, when Kaido kills Orochi? I was like, Orochi's not dead. I feel as though the only way Orochi should be defeated is it shouldn't be by Kaido's hands. It should be by either like Kinemon, Momonosuke, or Hiyori, or just any of the scabbards, maybe. But it should be done by somebody from the Kazuki clan, because that I feel as though the Kazuki needs closure in being the ones to put down Orochi, and I like this. I like this because I feel as though it sets up for Hiyori being that one who I think she she is probably the prime suspect because she not only had to go through the grieving process that Momonosuke had to go through, she had to experience it a lot longer. She had to go through it way longer. And not only that, she had to be around Orochi this whole time, right? You know, being a geisha and being under Kiyoshiro. I mean, she wasn't always around Orochi, but you know, she was in the same country of as Orochi as the guy who killed her father and couldn't do nothing about it. I mean, I talk a lot about Momonosuke, his growth and everything, but like it's understated what Hiyori had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like she had to go through the whole grieving process. She had to survive with Kawamatsu for all those years. Then she was picked up by Denjiro eventually after she ran away from Kawamatsu because she didn't want him to die. And you know, and then even then when she had to pose as Kamarasaki, you know, just imagine all the time she might have met Orochi and had to be nice and friendly and flirtatious with this man who killed her dad. You know, it's tough. So I feel as though this is her moment to get to pretty much like where we got Momonosuke. I think his moment, his shining moment, is to save Wino and lead Wino into out of the Orochi and Kaido era. I think it could be Hiyori's moment to put an end to the Orochi era. So yeah, that's kind of my but well before I wrap it up, in her playing the shamisen of I think Zoro's sword reacted to her playing the shamisen because you gotta think about it. You know, it's kind of like I believe that swords kind of carry the will of of the person who created the sword and the people who wield the sword, especially if it's a strong person wielding the sword. You know what I'm saying? If it's a strong soul, if it's a strong warrior that wields that sword and they fight a lot and they kill a lot of people with that sword, you know, like I think these swords, you know, they kind of grow with people they're with. So, you know, that being Oden's sword, it probably has some of his will left. And Hiyori being Oden's daughter, you know, somehow she was able to affect the sword and have it react. And this might be that moment with Zoro needs to get stronger. You know, this might be like an upgrade for Zoro. What I'm thinking. So yeah. But anyway, what did you guys think of the chapter? And do you think we'll see a Marco Izo confrontation with Kazunbo? Maybe throwing somebody like Brook, you know, Yamato. Like what's going to happen with Kazunbo? Like how are they going to stop him? And what's his how is his presence? How's his existence going to affect the trajectory of the arc compared to where it was going before? Like, how does it affect it? Like, does it move it a bit? Do you think? In what way? You know. Do you think Apu might join the alliance? You know, the pirate mink samurai alliance. You know, and what's your thoughts on what King's race could be? You know, what makes him special? What's your thoughts on King and what makes him special? And what could his race be? And then, do you guys think that that's Hiyori, and Onigashima? Like, do you think that person at the end was Hiyori indeed, or do you think it could be like a spirit? You know, that Enma might have manifested. Like what are your thoughts? But anyway, That's pretty much been the stream. It was a really good chapter. These last few chapters been fire, right? And One Piece episode 1000. It's been a long journey. I will say that it's been a long journey. Not many anime could say, you know, they've reached 1,000 episodes or 1,000 chapters. Not many series could say that. I mean, there's like a couple other that could say that, but at the level that One Piece has been putting out, like the level that One Piece been producing to reach 1,000 chapters and 1,000 episodes, it's a wonderful and impressive milestone. I will say that. I'm really looking forward to continuing this journey, especially with the anime. I still watch the anime. I know a lot of people got a problem with it, but I think the Wino arc has been done magnificently in the anime. Not every episode has been like the epic, but it's fine. It's fine. It hasn't been bad either. I can't say there's been a super bad episode. Maybe you might get one or two every once in a while, but it's just been fire after fire. Same with the chapters, and I I don't know if we gonna get another 1,000 episode, like 1,000 more episodes of the manga of this series, but I'm here for the ride regardless, and I hope you guys who are with the ride, I hope you get to witness this until the end of the journey. I'm here to the end of the journey. So and I hope you guys could take that journey with me. As I go, as I take that journey with you. So anyway, enough with the sentimentalness. Enough with all that. Anyway, it's Sean Peter Bluff guy. Aye. And y'all have a good Sunday. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving. Happy holiday. Happy Thanksgiving and everything. If I don't see you guys next Sunday or within the next 2 weeks, you guys will see me. At least in December, like early December. You guys, I will be back, and I plan to come back and go harder than ever. I plan to come back and go harder than ever. Maybe start doing more videos, normal videos. I'm not that good at editing, but I'm gonna have to get good for you guys. Just to put out this content. But I really wanna grow this channel, and I wanna give you guys content that make you guys wanna stick to this channel. Stick to this channel. You know what I'm saying? To stick with me, to roll with me. Even if it's other anime as well. I might start doing reviews of other anime. Because there's a few anime that I kind of want to talk about that I've been watching. You got Shaman King, that I recently watched on Netflix. Shaman King. The last series I watched was Darwin's Game. Before that, I want to say it was Castlevania. Even though I wouldn't say that's necessarily, it's kind of anime, but let me know what you guys want to talk about. What others, if you guys want me to start talking about other anime, like you guys want me to start talking about more anime, I could maybe not do these long streams, but I could probably do short videos of them. Maybe start talking about some solo leveling. I need to catch up on my solo leveling. If you're not reading Solo Leveling, you're missing out. Solo Leveling is probably one of the best things going on right now, in my opinion. In my opinion, I love Solo Leveling, like Heat, and they drop chapters I think every Wednesday usually, or all Wednesday. But anyway, it's Sean Peter Bluff guy. I did that already, but I gotta give it to y'all on the outro. Anyway, y'all have good Sunday, good Merry Thanksgiving, all that stuff.